Hi guys, this is Safe Space, a weekly Q&A for you to ask questions about dating, relationships, sex, mental health, and more. All of those questions that you've always wanted answers to, but you were never really sure who to ask. This week, one of you asked, why does my self-esteem change with my relationship status? There's a few reasons that this could be, but first I'm going to start out by saying that you've got an insecure attachment, probably an anxious attachment. We tend to attach our identity to our relationships when we lack a sense of self. If you don't have a clearly defined understanding of who it is that you are, and when I say clearly defined, I don't mean perfectly defined. I just mean a loose idea of who you are as an individual outside of your relationship, then you're going to struggle to really know who it is that you are as a person without that relationship. In that case, we tend to cling to our relationship, which just feeds this anxious attachment style. If your relationship status ebbs and flows and you don't have a clear sense of self, you're going to feel like in between relationships, you have no idea who you are. It's normal to not know who you are when you come from a background where family relationships were inconsistent or unstable. If that's the case, our relationships as adults tend to mirror those relationships that we experienced during childhood. If you find that your self-esteem is fluctuating when you're in or not in a relationship, then maybe you need to do some digging into that sense of self. Maybe it's time to figure out who you are as a person outside of your relationship so that you can step confidently into that identity and not cling to the relationship for stability. The more that you hold on to your relationship, the less likely you are to really know who you are. And if you find that your self-esteem is changing pretty quickly, then you probably need to work on that confidence and that self-esteem. Usually when our self-esteem is lower, it ebbs and it flows with external factors. So things like our relationships, our jobs, even a sense of purpose, right, can easily sway our self-esteem and our self-image. If you have a lower self-esteem, it doesn't mean that you can't raise it. It doesn't mean that you can't boost your self-esteem or your confidence. Usually a low self-esteem comes from a low sense of self or a low purpose, right? If you don't have a clear sense of self or a purpose, it's going to be harder then to feel good about yourself. In those scenarios, we then tend to cling to our relationships because that's what we feel is going really well. That's what we feel is stable or consistent. So if you're struggling with low self-esteem, or you feel like you're attaching your identity or your sense of self to your relationships, and you want to improve that, start by figuring out who you are. What are the things that you like to do? Where can you channel your energy so that you can feel more confident and sure of yourself? Are there hobbies you've always wanted to try? Are there circles of friends that you really want to embrace more because they bring out different parts of you that you really enjoy about yourself? Are there areas of your life that you want to strengthen because you love those parts of yourself? Good luck.